Hi everybody, welcome back. This one is a vlog of me just recapping yesterday, which was a crazy bananas bonkers day. And I had so many sort of epiphany moments yesterday and realisations, and I want to share them with you. I'm going to talk quite quick because there's a lot to get through. But yesterday was Monday, the 26th of 2024, 26th of February 2024, and it was a mad day, and I had a VIP client for the day, so a Voxer client, and so how I work on Voxer is people sort of bring their problems, their questions, the things that they're struggling with, and I help them get unstuck. Or, so like yesterday we crafted this person a new coaching bundle, we came up with a name for it, an ideal client for it, we talked about the marketing of it, and backwards and forwards, which means it was like being a plumber on call. Like you could just get a message any minute and then you got to respond. So I had a client for the whole day between 9 and 5, which meant they were my priority because they paid me for the day. But then I'd also kind of forgotten that, oh, hey, you're launching a podcast on Monday too and drop in 3 episodes and, need to be talking and marketing about that. And hey, you're also dropping a YouTube channel on the same day. So it's very early in the morning and the caffeine has not kicked in yet, so I'm stumbling over my words. Also, I'm not video recording this because I look like a bag of poop. So for YouTube, you'll get this audio and there'll probably just be like, a really cute picture of me to look at while you listen to this. So yeah, I overloaded myself yesterday. I had an all-day client, podcast launch, YouTube launched, and then at some point during the day, I decided that I was going to give away gifts for people who left me 5-star ratings on Spotify. This is how my brain works. I'm like, I'm going to do this thing. I'm just going to launch the podcast. And I launched the podcast and I was like, what would be really good for the podcast would be to get some ratings. And the more ratings it gets, it means hopefully more people will see this as a good podcast and then we'll get more listeners. So on the fly, I just posted and said, hey, if you go and give me a 5-star review on Spotify, I will give you a gift. And I use a platform, Member Vault, to store all of my digital products. So all of my courses, workshops, masterminds, everything I run is all on my Member Vault account. And so what I was going to do is, once somebody had left me a 5-star review and then sent me a DM with their email address, I was just going to hop into my Member Vault and then allocate them a gift. And these were all paid gifts, and some of the gifts I gave away were like $9 things or $17 things or $27 things. So I was gifting people for supporting me and leaving me a 5-star review. But all of this involved work, and it involved the posting, it involved the DMs, it involved going into Member Vault, finding the people, allocating their gifts, and then responding to them to let them know that I'd actually sent them the thing. Because some of them had automated emails going out and some of them just didn't, because I'd turned them off because they need updating. So there was a lot going on. But anyway, needless to say, alongside, had to walk the dog. That's a non-negotiable. He gets a walk every day because he deserves it. And also it's good for me to walk and be away from the computer. I walk very slowly, by the way, but it's still walking. And another non-negotiable I have every day is I need to go to the gym for my mental health. So I went to the gym yesterday morning. So yesterday was just this whirlwind of battling with my daughter to get out of bed because she's entering the teenage years and is just a hormonal nightmare in the mornings. Got her to school. I was in the gym by 8:50 a.m. I left the gym at 9:30 a.m. I got home and then I had my client from 9:37 a.m. And then I walked the dog at about 10 and was still sort of voxering with my client whilst I was walking the dog. So I had to kind of cram in all of those non-negotiable things that I have to do each day alongside, dealing with my beautiful, lovely client. Again, somebody's paid for my time, so I had to deal with that and, give her what she needed, as well as launching the podcast on YouTube and a giveaway competition. And by 9 o'clock, I was done. So I was in bed by 9. But here's the problem. My brain was not in bed by 9 o'clock at all. I I actually responded to somebody on an email. I mean, this is part of the problem. I shouldn't really have had my phone open, but I couldn't switch off. And in the email, I'd said to the person, I feel like my brain is on a Grand Prix track, and there's like 20 race cars whizzing around me at like 200, 300 miles an hour. And my brain just wouldn't settle. And so I've woken up today at 5:30. So I think the last time I remember looking at my phone, it was 11:30. So I think I've had at least 6 hours. I should check my sleep app thing and see how many hours I got. It measures my snoring because I snore, because I've got all sorts of nasal and restricted sort of esophagus issues as well. So, that's cute. Not. So it measures my snoring. And I'm actually, side note, going through a sleep apnea process at the moment, because I'm pretty sure I've got sleep apnea. But anyway, you don't need to know that, but I've just told you that. Anyway, so we're at 6:50 already. Like, there was something I wanted to tell you, and it's going to take longer. So actually, I'm going to do a part 2 with the really big realisation that I had yesterday. That deserves an episode on its own. So I'm going to do another episode. But because I don't want this to go over 10 minutes, let me tell you the other cool things that came out of yesterday. And I think they're really cool. You might just think, Remi, they're rubbish, but I think they're really cool. And as I go through this journey, these numbers are going to get bigger and bolder and wilder, and I'm really excited for that. But I launched the new podcast yesterday, and it got 43 plays on Spotify. I haven't put it on other platforms yet because my brain just hasn't given me the opportunity to slow down to figure out, which distribution platform I actually want to sign up to. But I'm going to try and get that done today. But 43 plays of the podcast was cool yesterday. YouTube, I had 3 new subscribes. Again, doesn't feel like big numbers, but bearing in mind I've had no subscribers on my YouTube channel since September, so over 5 months. So 3 in a day was pretty exciting for me. I did do a little wiggle and a little dance for that. The podcast has got 17 ratings at the time, 17 5-star ratings at the time of recording this, which is awesome. I've had 5 new friend requests on Facebook because people are seeing what I'm doing and are starting to slide into my world, which is quite exciting. And I've had 2 podcast requests. So that's cool. One was for me to go and do another podcast, but I'm going to share about that on the next one, because that ties into the other story. And then today I've had somebody ask to come on this podcast. And so I'll just say very quickly before I wrap, this podcast really is for me to vlog and document the process. And I am already talking to a couple of friends who I want to come on this podcast and interview me, and perhaps ask me questions that maybe other people are thinking about that I've not thought about. So if you are going to request to come onto this podcast, just know it's going to be an angle where you are asking me questions versus me planning out interviewing you. But if you have like a unique skill set or something that's interesting, I think that'll be an interesting angle. So the person who reached out today is a neurodiverse coach, and I think it'd be really interesting for her to come and ask me some questions that showcases her skill sets, but is, still going to be of value for people listening to this podcast. So that's the angle. If you want to come on this podcast and you can bring a unique angle, then holler at your girl and let me know what you do and what you could bring to this. All right, I'm out.